Okay. Alright. I made it. Of course, there is no timeline or deadline, if you will, for World Wrestling Entertainment behind-the-scene backstage or behind-the-scene fights. And what do I mean by this? Well, for starters, we all know that John Cena and CM Punk don't really get along outside the ring, and, well, I have a source saying that there's reason for that. Okay? It says, earlier we posted the post-surgery comments from John Cena. By the way, John Cena underwent surgery. Who cares? Where he thanked the fans for the support. Go figure. Cena posted another message and had words for WWE Champion CM Punk. Not the least bit surprised at all, gentlemen. Says, Cena also referenced Punk using the rock bottom and told him to stick with borrowing stuff from Randy Savage and Bret Hart. Yeah, I don't know if John realized anything. CM Punk uses very few submission maneuvers like the Anaconda Vice or that new maneuver that he used at Night of Champions. Don't quite have a grip on the name for that. But I don't think he's anywhere close to Bret Hart's style. I could be wrong. But, said, oh, and CM Punk, you tied with a guy with a blown up ankle, sorry I'm stammering, and a shattered arm. What say when I get healthy we show the WWE who the champ really is? And why would you even try and borrow the rock stuff? Whatever, you know. Punk replied, I got the same surgery you did in 2010 and I ran 8 miles the next day. Stop whining. Did you tear a hammy too? You know, guys, to be honest with you, granted I just read from a prompt, but the fact of the matter is this. When you have two superstars who are going at each other, maybe this is staged, maybe it's not. These two really don't have a liking to each other. To me, if you want to compare rivalries, this is similar to Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. A little bit. Is it similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin? And, let's say Vince McMahon? Probably not. What I really like to get into this is the fact that, yes, they took it easy on Cena because his ankle looked like a freaking grapefruit. And he had surgery on his arm because he did an improper German suplex. How do you do a German suplex, guys? For those of us who know this answer, please tell me. When you lift in the guy, maybe he nutted somewhere else, I don't give a damn, because as soon as CM Punk responds, oh, he's the bad guy of the company, he's the rebel rouser of the business. I hate to break this to you, for those of you who are John Cena fans. John Cena is nothing but a little whiny bitch who sits at his house, you know, and it says, I worked hard for what I got into. OVW was not necessarily working hard. You were a bodybuilder. You're kind of like, I don't know, an Arnold Schwarzenegger of wrestling. And basically, can the thought of John Cena and CM Punk getting along like, oh, I don't know, this?
Daniel Bryan is literally shaking right now. There we go, yes! There it is! Kane and Daniel Bryan!
Okay, so maybe they can't hug it out like Daniel Bryan and Kane, but we're all getting the same concept of where I'm going with this. You see, as a biased CM Punk fan, I know where my spot lies in the World Wrestling Entertainment world, okay? Not a lot of people like CM Punk, a lot of people like him because he just doesn't give a damn. Well, he's held the title for quite a long time, and whether you guys like to admit it or not, he did defeat Cena in his own hometown, in his own home territory, or on his home territory. You get where I'm going with this. CM Punk, John Cena, is not, it shouldn't be this drawn out. But now that it is, we're wondering, is it going to be taken to the next level? Is there going to be a whole issue with CM Punk holding on to the title before Rumble next year? because I thought it was funny when he delivered the rock bottom to John Cena, because even though it was a minimum match and it's kind of dragging, so CM Punk just decides, hey, why not give a rock bottom? Or the Anaconda Vice. What did Cena do? He messed up his shoulder real bad. I don't know how he did it. But after the match, I had to have surgery and I need time off. That's understandable, but at the same time, kind of annoying. We're trying to create a business where guys don't wrestle hurt. We don't want anything to happen to this main event, do we? But at the same time, you could at least be there and be a pain to CM Punk, but you don't. You just sit there and not even trying, John. I mean, let's face it. Without John Cena, whatever shall we do? There's plenty of angles you can go. You can go with CM Punk Del Rio. You can go with CM Punk against Sheamus. That'd be interesting if they unified the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title. Maybe they should try that. But instead, no, let's fork Mr. Merchandise, Mr. I cry about everything. And it shows, John. It shows through Twitter, through Facebook, through your fans. Even they cry a lot. You think that just because we as CM Punk fans like to voice our opinion. I agree with Punk. He is the voice to the voiceless. Though his fans can't really stand up and say how we feel, because there was talk, and not just talk, there was signs taken away, anti-Cena signs. You know, they had their signs taken away, and that's kind of unfair. If you're at programming and you're there to watch a show, you should be allowed to display every single sign that says, I don't like Cena, I like Cena, whatever you want. But no, it gets taken away, and that's censorship. And as far as that goes, that's another reason why I tend to lean towards more of being a CM Punk fan, because he's uncensored. And though people say he doesn't know when to shut up, even though he may have won in a controversial fashion, that kind of backs up what he says. Best in the world. And if you don't believe me, it says it on the back of the shirt, see? See, it says best in the world. Okay, now I'm kind of displaying merchandise in a different way. I got a few things left to say. Big Show on vacation. That doesn't surprise me, since the show can go on without him. Now that Cena's hurt, yeah, it progresses into where we're going to place you. I mean, why not have him face off with Brodus or do the follow-up? But since the company's so lazy, you know, I mean, honestly, if Raw's performance this week was any indication of where it's going to be next week, haven't quite looked into the number of ratings. It's gone up a little bit, but not much. Not by much at all. I am B-Train from those Missouri guys. And we're out.